Hello, and welcome to Menu Talk with Pat and Brett. I'm your host for this week, Brett Thorne, Senior Food and Beverage Editor of Nation's Restaurant News and Restaurant Hospitality. Pat Kobe, Senior Menu Editor of Restaurant Business, will be hosting next week. Our guest for this episode is Nelson German, who you might know from Season 18 of Top Chef or from his 3 restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area. Those are AlaMar Dominican Kitchen and Sobre Mesa, both in Oakland, and Mesqui, which opened in San Francisco in April. German grew up in the Dominican community of New York City, but he has been in the Bay Area since 2010. He cooked mostly fine dining European food until recent years when he began to explore his personal culinary roots. Until then, AlaMar had simply been a seafood restaurant, but he revamped it and changed its focus to Dominican cuisine. Then, at Sobre Mesa, he began to explore his Cameroonian ancestry and began to incorporate West African elements into his food. And finally, at Mesqui, he partnered with entrepreneur Guma Fasil, who's of Ethiopian heritage, as well as NBA legend Draymond Green, and further expanded his repertoire. German and I discussed his culinary evolution, among other topics, in a conversation that I think you'll enjoy. We'll find out soon enough, because here is Nelson German. We last connected at Worlds of Flavor like a few years ago.
Yes. That was awesome time.
Yes, yeah, that was a great conference. Very interesting. With a focus on African influence on cooking throughout the world, which was great.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're doing that. You have 3 restaurants, right? You got Mesqui, which opened in April, and then Sobre Mesa and AlaMar.
Yes.
Why don't we just talk about all 3 of them? However,
of course. Yeah. No, they're all my babies, and now I have a real one. Just turned 1, so I'm also a brand new dad.
Oh, a human
baby Mason, a human baby too.
Oh,
yes. He just started walking. The restaurant babies are love of my life, of course. AlaMar was the first. We opened in 2014 on May 1st in Oakland. We're almost hitting our 12-year anniversary coming soon.
Congratulations.
Which is crazy.
That's something.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long ride, long journey. A lot of ups and downs, but we're still here. But now what's special about AlaMar, Brett, is that it's now a full Dominican restaurant. So for the last 2 years, we've been a totally different concept. Still the same name, same space, slightly different look, same feels. Just now it's more representation of my family and also my African heritage. So it's really fun. It's really, I'm the happiest I've ever been cooking, especially in that space. And just like cooking from the heart, cooking things that I love as a kid. And then new things that I'm learning about my own people and my own food and culture. So a really special place on Grand Avenue in Oakland. Also have Sobre Mesa, which is our second. It's our beautiful cocktail lounge. Super sexy, Afro-Latino. That one I also kind of do a little focus on West African cuisine, which is in my roots. I found out my ancestors come from Cameroon. So it's crazy. All these events from Worlds of Flavor to being on Top Chef, to just wanting to learn more about where I come from has made me really in tune with the kind of food I want to do. And you can kind of see it in all my spaces. But Sobre, tropical, bright, beautiful, sexy, more tapas style food. Still have some big platters, of course, but definitely Afro-Latino and West African. It's a really fun place. And then now we have Mesqui, which is an amazing combination. It's Dominican, Caribbean, and Ethiopian. So now we're celebrating East Africa this time. And it's been amazing. 7 months old. My business partners are Guma Fasil, my friend who owns a restaurant in Berkeley, Ethiopian traditional restaurant, and then Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. We know who that is. It's been fantastic. We've been definitely making a positive impact on San Francisco and the neighborhood. And we're very happy to be there. It's still growing. We just expanded our menu, but it's special how we're doing this beautiful combination of our heritage, and it's making so much sense.
So you decided to go the Ethiopian route because of your partner, Guma.
Yes.
Which is quite different from West African. And
Very different. Very different. Absolutely. But it's so much fun.
yeah, so as long as we're on mezcal, let's talk about it a little bit more. The learning curve probably had to be pretty steep because you're like Dominican, and then over the past few years, you said you've been exploring West Africa
Hmm.
with some fufu and stews and a lot of plantains and so on, and probably jollof rice, although that's less Cam.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now you're in Ethiopia with injera, and I guess I mean also a lot of stews, but probably different stews.
Yeah, actually a little more similar. It's been surprising. Definitely, I thought it would be a super deep dive or deep, you know, diving in there, but it's been it's been rewarding because a lot of things are very familiar and similar to Caribbean cuisine and that culture. So it's crazy how intertwined we really all are. And it's been like using berbere and mimita and all these beautiful spices. Remind me of a lot of spices that we use in the islands. More on the Haitian side because of the chilies. Dominicans we're kind of wusses when it comes to spice, but we use a lot of different things, right? But it's really cool to kind of see things. Like for example, one of my favorite side dishes is our misi wat habichuela. So it's basically like Guma's mom's spicy lentil stew with my mom's Dominican beans, and we put it together, and it's absolutely fantastic together.
Wow.
And it's just, yeah, it's really cool. Just with the sofrito and the spices, it's absolutely amazing the way it just kind of blends. And the cooking process is basically the same. And then the love that you put into that dish is very much the same. And it's putting our moms like they were actually cooking together in the kitchen. It's really fantastic.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how you combined those two traditions? I mean, I guess both of them start with like a spice base. Then in
Yes.
Dominican Republic, you call it sofrito, and you
Hmm.
something else in Ethiopia. But I
Yes.
don't know. How are they similar and different in that way?
The similarities is definitely the style of cooking, right? Also, that slow process, the adding flavor throughout the steps of flavor. It's not just put everything in a pot and that's it. You're always checking on it. You're stirring. You're adding more of this, more of that. There's this love connection with this style of cooking. That's very. It means the world to me. Like it's impactful and powerful, and it still celebrates Black food, which is amazing. And that's kind of what we want with Mesqui. It's not just this crazy combination of two cultures together. It makes sense because we're both part of the African diaspora. So there's all these ties already there and so much history. And we see it when I'm cooking, it's like just makes sense. It was like meant to be. Even when we do our one most popular dishes now on the menu is our whole bronzino. And the bronzino, we grill it. We have the bebede on there. We have Dominican sazon, kind of like an adobo, and it's just like the way it just like combines is absolutely amazing. Like it looks like a traditional Caribbean dish, but it has these Ethiopian spices. It has the plantains, has the misiwats. We do a passion fruit escabeche on there. That's out of this world with mimita on there too and waze, and it's just everything just blends nicely. Like I've been experimenting with things, but it's a quick experimentation because when we taste it, we're like, "Yo, this is crazy." It just makes sense. You don't need to do so much to it. I don't need to try different times. It's all flowing really beautifully. But it's awesome because again the style of cooking is so similar. Every time we're there, it's like our moms and grandmas are cooking in the kitchen, and that's one thing I'm that has come full circle for me as a chef. I've done so many different style of cuisines, come from fine dining and everything, but putting love in food is the most special skill you can have in the kitchen. And the way you can still do it technically, of course, and tell a story. And I think that's what, is the most important thing. We're telling stories with the food that we're doing, and that we're being very intentional about that. And Mesquite is becoming a special place.
Really new world, not just American, but the entire new world had immigrants from all over the place, and maybe they'd be neighbors, and they'd talk to each other, and maybe somebody's from the Dominican Republic and someone else is from Ethiopia. And somebody's mother be like, "Oh, that smells good. What are you doing there?" And then that's how cuisine evolves. And so,
Absolutely.
it seems like you're doing that maybe a little bit more intentionally at Mesky, but well, I mean, I guess more intentionally, but it's a natural cultural dialogue, as anthropologists call it. Just
Absolutely.
bringing
Absolutely.
food together, and so
Yeah.
it's not really fusion. It's just I don't know. It's its own new thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and at first we're all like, "Oh, it's fusion," and for me, the word fusion's been it's been taboo for years. A lot of us in the industry, but it is what it is, and it is a fusion of culture, but it's just there's a tie there. Like you said, there's a language, there's a connection, and it just makes sense what we're doing. It tells a story, and again, it just like from three black men opening this restaurant, people of color in San Francisco, which is right now a rarity. So you can count on one hand how many black-owned businesses are there. It's starting to grow finally, but it's our intention to really make it this special, make an impact, but do it the right way again, where it's telling a deep story with everything we're doing. It's not just a celebrity-owned restaurant that's doing the typical stuff. It almost started that way. The original intent, so Guma and Draymond have been friends for years, over 13 years. Guma comes from nightlife. So he used to throw these extravagant parties in San Francisco that Draymond Green, when he first got to the Bay Area, was going to a lot. And, just the connection there and going to all the parties, they became friends. And now Draymond, kind of in his pseudo last years, as a basketball player, is getting older, of course. He wanted to invest more into the city, into the Bay Area. So they were planning to open a restaurant. The idea is to go New American, California cuisine, but with the Ethiopian lens. So still touches of Ethiopia, but tying to what we have here in the Bay Area in California. That was kind of the focus. But it's like it was gonna be great too, but there was no real deep story there. Like there was something missing. And then I came along, they came to my space, Sobre Mesa, in December after Martin Lawrence concert. So Martin Lawrence was in town. There was a lot of beautiful shows going on in Oakland, a lot of celebrities everywhere. Draymond and him went to go see Martin Lawrence, and they came back out to want to dine. And they passed by Sobre Mesa around 11, kind of when we're closing the kitchen. So Guma comes in, asks for me, says he's a big fan. And I just got back from paternity leave. I was out for about a month or so. Just had the baby, wife and I did, and just got back. He comes in, says, "Big fan, been here a couple times, never had the food. I have Draymond Green and his wife in the car. We would love to dine, see if he can open the kitchen for us." And me in my head are like, "Who is this guy? Is this for real?" It's coming out of nowhere saying Jack has Draymond Green in the car, but something told me this is real, especially him mentioning Draymond's wife. And the prior week, we actually had Ti, the rapper, come by to Sober Mesa, just out of nowhere, just walked in, sat at the bar, had some drinks. So there was something happening in Oakland where there was all these influx of you know, high professionals who we all know. And I was like, absolutely, we'll open the kitchen, we'll take care of you guys. Oh, behold, Draymond Green walks in, just tall as hell. Just sits down, said hello, and it's been and everything just came together. They had a great time there. They were inspired by Sobre Mesa because you can see a lot of similar ties when you see both places. And yeah, we just talked. We were, he's a dad himself. I just became a dad, so we are showing pictures of babies and just kind of getting advice from him how to be a great father and go through the motions of this thing. And we just connected. End of the night, they're leaving. Guma says, "Oh, we've been looking for a restaurant to open, me and Draymond, wish us luck." And for me, I just gave him my number just as a way to, support and be like, if you guys have any questions, any connections you need, give me a call. I got you. I like to help others. It's kind of what I do. I like community. I'm all about community. And just became a call where they call me and they needed help in the kitchen, more of a consulting gig, but we just kind of really vibed together and became really close, like super quickly. Like people think that we've known each other for years of the way we're around each other. They had more of my food with AlaMar, and just this whole idea came to be like, what do you think about mixing Dominican and Ethiopian? And I was like, I think that can work. Let's try it out. it just makes more sense. It's more exciting. It's something newer that's never really been done. And for me, with what I was, the point I'm at in my career was like, this is celebrating the African diaspora more than California cuisine would, and Ethiopian. Like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to tell a story. And Mesquite came to be, man, and it's been an amazing ride, and people coming in there, even the critical ones, because Ethiopians, very traditional ones, are very critical of their culture. So are Dominicans, but they've come in and been blown away by things and are really happy that we're honoring the tradition still. I think that's where it sometimes gets away when you do something new. You think about too much technicality and trying to make things extra fancy, that you can still do that, but you have to still tell that story and honor the traditions of the history of that food.
You have to retain the food's soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why is it called mesquite?
So Mesky is my partner Guma's mom. So that was her nickname. Mescadam is her real name. She passed away a few years ago. The original intent with them was to open something to give tribute to her. She opened one of the first Ethiopian restaurants in the Bay Area, which was called Ethiopia in Berkeley. Now it's still there. Guma's running it, but it's called Mesky's Kitchen and Garden now. Just again, a way of showing tribute and honor to her. But she really did a lot for community. She brought a lot of people together. She's basically like a mom for a lot of people, a lot of folks. It's amazing when people come in and be like, I worked with her or I knew her. She was at my wedding. She cooked for my wedding. She was an amazing person who I can come to talk to when I'm down. And it just showcases how we have to honor, especially women who give us life, you know, especially someone who came from a different country, came to this country to provide a better life for their kids, for their families, and did it the right way and just really brewed community. So it's a place to honor wonderful Black women who gave us life. You know, from the interior design, we have Kakudan, who owns Black Girls Greenhouse. A lot of the art is by women. Taylor Smalls is one of them, has some art from Ethiopia. It's a way to really give back, and show love and show respect. And Mesty, it just kind of rolls off the tongue really beautifully.
Yeah, it sounds like a place I want to eat. Let's go to Mesquite.
Let's get it.
And it's in San Francisco instead of.
Is in San Francisco? It
Was that weird or challenging, or I don't know, what was it like to open in San Francisco? Very.
it's crazy because it was always a dream to do that, right? So when I from New York City, born and raised, I came in 2010 due to my wife who's from the Bay Area. And there was always this hesitation, of course, leaving New York because when we're New Yorkers, we have everything in the world there. We're kind of stubborn, really prideful of the city. But for me, as a chef, I was like, okay, I can go there. I might be back, you never know, but I can go to San Francisco and work and build up my resume. So we know in the East Coast that San Francisco is another mecca of food, and it's a great way to build on your skills, this and that. Being here so many years, when I first opened AlaMar, I just fell more in love with Oakland. I worked in San Francisco, but Oakland was really a place with so much history, the grassroots, activism there, the really just big pride for such a small town. Like it feels big, the heart they have for that city, and it's that underdog feel that I got connected to. And this has a really beautiful sense of community, has a diversity. So I was really proud to open there and just kind of fell in love with Oakland and been a champion for Oakland for, now 15 years and still to this day. But in the back of my mind, I was always like, I do have to open something in San Francisco on the line. But honestly, Brett, I wasn't ready to open another restaurant though. Just having a kid, and when Draymond and Guma came in and this whole thing came together, I was a little hesitant because I was like, do I really have the time for this? Because I'm very hands-on. I'm very personal in my spaces. I want to touch everything. I want to see everything. I want to make sure has connection and people connect to it. But I did this because I realized that this baby boy really is motivating me to still live my dream. Like it was a time where I was thinking like, should I just stop and kind of just stick with what I have, just focus on family? But for some reason, I got the feeling from him to like keep living a dream, keep being a role model for my son, and do things the right way and do things differently this time where I'm investing in the team and the systems more than anything else. So I can trust the process. I don't have to be there all the time. For me, trust was like a big thing throughout my career, especially after opening my own spaces to I would never trust anybody 100%. But now to have actual partners, business partners, have Draymond involved, just really focusing on getting a wonderful team who is invested in the business was a focus, and it's been a beautiful time where I don't have to be there every second. Everything's going well. The food is being presented beautifully. It's my food still, and it feels good to be have time to jug around my other business too and check in, but also have time for my son and my wife. So it's been fantastic for me and something very different.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco, and it's in Nob Hill. That's different from Oakland in a
Yes,
bunch of
yes.
ways. Uh,
That's a learning process for me. It's just like learning and Guma, learning the SF market. It's very different from Berkeley and San Francisco. Just the way people spend, the way people just kind of want to come out, what days they come out to party and eat and dine. It's a whole different mindset. And it's really cool to learn that. It took us a while to kind of get used to it, because we're trying to like charge Oakland prices. San Francisco, you can't survive that way. We try to be accessible as possible. Just the way we thought about the marketing, also the same way we do over there, but it's very different here. You have to have a level of, you have to have a big dream, and people have to see that. You know, especially in the marketing, it has to be a place that's inviting. We want the place to be a homey, but also we want the place to be a vibe. And that's kind of the focus on the marketing. Like it's a vibe when you're in there. And then we surprise people with the food and the drinks. Cause again, you see a celebrity owned place and you just think that's just the same old type of menus, the mac and cheese and the big steaks. The big steak is there, of course. We have to have that for Draymond. He loves it. But there's all these intentional dishes that, again, are telling a story. And it's been great to have be in San Francisco. San Francisco going through a nice resurgence, so we're very honored to be part of that and to give back and make an impact.
yeah, I was just in San Francisco. I don't know, 2 3 weeks ago. Recently, well, right. I went to Worlds of Flavor, and then I spent the weekend
Yes.
in San Francisco, as I do. Yeah, people like it's sort of like here in New York, where
Hmm.
you read the news and you think both of them are dystopian hellscapes, but then you look around and they're totally fine and really nice
Yeah,
places, and people are living their lives and going out
absolutely.
to restaurants and spending their money, and it was really nice to see San Francisco doing so
That's
well.
awesome. That's awesome.
And
Yeah, well, again, there's leadership now, and there's just like this whole intention of like, let's make the city better again. Let's bring it back to where it should be, but even better than before. And it just feels good. You see people walking back. Tourism is increasing again. There's a focus on helping businesses, which is different from the past. For what I hear from restaurants in the past is like now the mayor and all the leadership, they're really focusing on helping businesses thrive again. It brings more people to the city.
for sure. And I rode my first Waymo. I thought that was fun.
Nice. I still haven't done that though, but how do you feel?
Fine. I
Yeah,
did, I don't know. Maybe I trust technology too much. Maybe I'm
I got
spending
you.
too much time, hanging out with ChatGPT, talking about people, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I thought it was fine.
That's awesome.
No problem. And so 7 months in, Mesky is doing fine, doing well.
Yes, yes, yes. And we're still, getting better, smooth out any kinks that we might still have. We just expanded our menu, which is exciting. So we're getting there. We're excited about the holiday season too.
But yeah, that's all coming up. Well, what did you expand the menu?
We added more seafood dishes. So when we first opened, we didn't have as many, but we realized, of course, we're in San Francisco, we're by the bay. We have to have some more seafood options. There's great seafood, here. So we need to celebrate that. Not just again a lot of meats and protein. So we expanded there. We have some more vegan options, also some more desserts, just some more variety of things. So it's exciting. We finally have our core signature items that have been popular since day one, and now we have some new dishes that are really vibrant and again telling these beautiful stories.
Well, and it is Dungeness crab season now, right? So it's time to like.
It is. It was delayed, but it's going. That was going back for sure.
I didn't know it was delayed. That's cool that they're coming back.
Yeah, there's always something every year now, but it's to be respectful of the sea and the whales and all that too. So
Yeah, don't overfish or overcrab.
exactly,
I want
exactly.
I want to ask some questions about AlaMar, but before I do that, what are the core dishes at Mesquite that are doing so well?
Of course, the braised chicken sambusa for sure is these beautiful little hand pies, kind of like an empanada, filled with my Dominican braised chicken. My favorite dish to ask my mom and grandma to cook for me when I visit is that braised chicken. So we took that, put it to the sambusa. It has a charred onion crema and it's a sauce that we call salsa africana, kind of like a pseudo salsa brava, so pepper sauce with East African spices and of course a lot of sazon. And it's been fantastic. It's Draymond's favorite. Everyone orders it. Pretty much every table orders sambusa. So it goes really, really, it goes crazy per night.
Did you
We
invent
sell a lot of those.
did you invent
Uh,
salsa africana or is it a real thing? Or both?
I invented it.
Oh,
I gotta say I did. Of course, took the inspiration by salsa brava. It's one of
right.
my favorite sauces. I love Spanish cuisine. But yeah, I took it to another level, and I think I can claim as mine.
Sure. Sounds excellent. I would eat that.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. So with the sambusa, and then I gotta mention our oxtail pasta, the gemelli pasta. That's been one that's huge and has been kind of riding the wave. We started with a lamb version of that, and then we did oxtail one time. I'm known for oxtail out of AlaMar. It's kind of one of our core dishes there, and just kind of brought it over to here one night, and people fell in love with it, and they've been asking for it for a while. We probably put it on the menu.
And put it in pasta because why not?
Oh yeah, it's rich, delicious, spicy. It's been fantastic.
When you said that AlaMar is now purely Dominican, what
hmm
what was it before and why did you change it?
Before I was focusing on Mediterranean. It still had a little bit of Latin touches. Mediterranean was kind of my specialty throughout the years. That's one cuisine I really kind of felt right with as a chef back in the days. Still do to this day, of course, but now I want to focus more on my own roots. So with Alomar, the story with that is predominantly seafood restaurant. Of course, Alaman means to the sea in Spanish. And we were focusing on seafood boils. So we had a bunch of the crab dishes, the shrimp, peel and eat, you eat with your hands. There's a sink in the middle of the dining room, copper sink that's fun.
I love that.
It was just a fun concept, but it was like Cajun boils, but brought back to its origin. So it was like you're by the Mediterranean Sea this time, eating this seafood with like, a romesco butter sauce. We still had like a curry sauce too that we did before. Scampi, like these kind of traditional sauces with a twist. That was really fun to eat and it's kind of was fun to do too. But when I first opened Alomar, even though I was going Mediterranean, I had to add some Dominican touches because it's my first restaurant owning. Like I have to do this and honor my family somehow. And I had the braised oxtail on there as a tribute to my mom, the way she would make it. I had the tostones, and then of course the sweet plantain versions of that. So it's crazy how it's evolved to this now. Like there was these little touches here and there of Dominican, just as a tribute, and then now to go full Dominican restaurant, it's been amazing feeling for me. But one reason we did it is because, especially after COVID, everything just got even extra expensive, right? Especially seafood. So for us, and also we were only one of the few restaurants that survived COVID in the area. So it was an influx of new restaurants around us. And of course, you always want to try the new things and push away the old ones. So we got kind of pushed to the side. And after surviving that, we needed sales. We needed to be busy. We all went through tough time there. But we realized we need to refresh ourselves. For one, we need to feel new again. And how can we afford the seafood? We can't as much. So what do we do? I was thinking, it might be time. People asked me in the past before, "Oh, you should do Dominican food." But for me, I didn't want to be pigeonholed to a stereotype just because I'm Dominican, I cook Dominican food. Plus, I wasn't ready to showcase my culture. It was Dominicans were a rarity in the Bay Area. Nobody really knew about as much, except that some of us play baseball and, and think merengue and bachata, you know. But there's so much to the culture, so much variety now, and now during these times, Californians can actually go to DR. There's now flights to go to the Dominican Republic, so people are learning the culture a little more, and you see us more on TV and stuff. So it was like the right time to like, okay, I think it's time to really go this route. You know, for me, it was like I'm more in tune with my roots now. I'm celebrating my West African ties and ancestry, but I can't forget about my lineage. I have to celebrate that too. And I was like, let's give it a go. You know, we survived this. Let's go for this and see where it goes. And we're the only Dominican restaurant on the West Coast,
Whoa.
which is crazy. And you know, in New York, we're everywhere, right? Yeah, yeah. But to be the only one on the West Coast is inspiring because we want to, you know, have more, of course, open and really show love to the culture and you know and honor my lineage and family. And it's been a beautiful thing.
And your neighbors have embraced it. Your guests.
Yes, yes, yes. They embraced it. Of course, people came in during that first transition thinking it's the old AlaMar, looking for a lot of the boils. So I will have like a little touch of those dishes, but I was like, I want to go new. I want to try something new. I can't afford the seafood, or else I have to charge $100 for a boil. I don't want to do that. I always wanted to be accessible. You know, for me, is that's intentional. As much as I can do it with, you know, still surviving as a business, it was always that little kind of pushback, like, "Oh, you guys, we missed the shrimp, we missed the crab. Where is it? What is this? This is not AlaMar." And I was like, "This is my restaurant. Just give it a try. You know, like give it a try. This is still the place where you feel at home. You can bring your families. Like AlaMar was like Cheers for a lot of people. People were coming in there who are regulars. Will see new people. They actually promote the restaurant for us. They'll want to, you know, ask for their name and bring them a drink and this and that. Like it was this beautiful kind of influx and ecosystem of just people wanted to show love to each other. It was that place to come in and feel safe and eat good food and just vibe. And we want people to realize it's the same place for that. But now it's like more in tune with connection of family and comfort food.